What does Zillow's new instant offer mean for you? Let's check in with real estate professional Joe Corbisiero.
We're live right now with the Nazo! Joe Corbisiero!
Nazo!
Yeah! Okay, so Joe, congratulations on your recent move.
Thank you.
Realty One
Boom.
is the new location.
That's right.
For your office, so we'll put some stuff up on that for the television side, for the Facebook Live side. Today's topic is Zillow's new instant offer, which I hadn't heard of this, yet you brought this to my attention. And apparently this is some sort of beta test.
That's right.
That Zillow is doing. So can you tell us what it is and why they might be beta testing something like this?
So they saw in, I believe, Orlando and Nevada, which they were hit heavily with foreclosures, and they really still did not recuperate as much as we did and any other places in the United States. So they're beta testing this new product. They call it instant offers. And it's created a huge buzz, man. It's so interesting. It's controversial. I don't know if they actually created a website, Stop Zillow Now. I mean, people are losing their bazooka. It's interesting. Well, I mean, I understand every change creates, of course, even when we had the president and so forth, so controversies, people are not really secure and not really confident of what's going to happen in the future or whatnot. Some of them, which is I think the stupidest thing I ever heard, they're basically saying Zillow is going to be the new Uber for real estate.
The new, well, what is the instant offer? I mean, what does that even mean? Like, what is the program that everyone's so upset about?
So they're doing this. They're saying, homeowner, if you want, you can put your property as is on Zillow and get an instant offer on Zillow.
Who's making the offer?
So Zillow made a contract with flippers. So there's a pool of flippers that now they have an agreement with Zillow, but they still have to use an agent to be represented.
Okay.
So an agent is still involved.
Okay.
People didn't get that. They thought it's just between the seller and the
There's
the flipper.
an agent who's working both sides?
Correct. They'll have one agent. The problem is, which is actually great, obviously they're going to be lowballed.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what people don't see. I see potential. People see a problem. The potential is Mr. Seller doesn't know anything about real estate. So it's like, oh, let me see this new gig. Instant offer. So they put a house on instant offer on Zillow. They're probably going to get an offer that's 20% below market value. Do you think that seller is going to take that offer? No. Because the agent is going to be in the between, and Zillow actually is going to ask the agent to provide with a comparable market analysis.
They are.
Correct. So once the seller is going to see the comparable market analysis, like, well, this is not cool. I don't want to have 20% below market value. Here you go. Now you're going to contact an agent to get your house listed.
Okay. So so people are afraid that they're going to sidestep the agents. So what is the idea that Zillow is going to be the Uber of real estate? What is that argument all about?
So, dude, it's funny because I've been reading a lot and listening to podcasts and whatnot. So I don't know if you know, but the creator of Zillow, it's actually the creator of Expedia. Did you know that?
Yeah, I have heard that.
And I think about 12, 13, many years ago, 13 years ago maybe, they started Zillow. So I think the buzz started there because Expedia pretty much eliminated travel agencies, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and now they own Orbitz and all these other ones too. If you try to go get a quote on Travelocity or Expedia or Orbitz, it's all the same software. They don't even try to hide it.
That's right.
It's all the same now.
That's right. So they're comparing buying a ticket or get a ride or get Netflix with real estate, which is totally BS. Seriously. Come on. You can get a ride on Uber on your app. If you don't like your driver, for some reasons, you order another Uber, right? If you're on Netflix and you order a movie and you don't like the movie, shut it down, get another movie. It's $2. We're talking about, especially in San Diego, $500,000, $1 million. Do you think it could be a comparable?
I don't, but here's a good question. What is Zillow's end game? Like, why would they do this? How does this help them sell more advertising? How does this help homeowners or home buyers in any way?
So, nowadays, marketing is everything, right? So we're on Facebook, social media, we are Redfin, we have Zillow, we have Trulia, we have all sort of Google pay-per-click and whatnot, right? So if Zillow would just say, well, seller, you can now list the property, now it's creating a buzz. You're going to have more people subscribing, more consumers going towards Zillow. Make sense?
Okay. But the buyers, the traditional buyers, don't have access to these instant offers, right? It's just a certain group of flippers
Correct.
who can make offers.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's something that most of the real estate agents still didn't understand.
Okay.
Okay? So it's not for consumers, regular buyers. It's for flippers that have a contract with Zillow.
Gotcha.
Okay? That's how they started. Is it going to change? We don't know. This is what I know. Apparently, there is in real estate in the nation, we spend an average of $14 billion in marketing, or advertisement, I should say. Zillow has between 4 and 6% of that share. And they want to go up to 10, 15%, from my understanding. They have the capabilities, they have the structure, so that's going to happen. Now, do you think Zillow is going to start fighting real estate agents, which is their bread and butter, to become a brokerage? No.
They could.
No.
They could.
They can't. They won't.
They could.
They won't.
They could.
They could, but they won't. They won't. I'll tell you this much. Why would you change completely something that you've done for the last 12 years, and this year they're netting $1 billion?
Profit?
Yeah.
Really?
I heard they're netting $1 billion. They're set to net $1 billion in 2017.
Why would they change that is your question? I'll give you the answer.
Yeah.
Because whatever they think they're going to change it to would net them $2 billion. It's all about making more money, right? I mean, so, to say, well, they would never change this because they're doing so well with it. Think about how many companies have made huge changes to their business model thinking that it was a much better move.
Well, this is not just changing the business model. This is changing completely the service they provide.
Yeah.
I mean, they're providing services to us, real estate professionals, that we sign up, we pay for advertisement, therefore we get leads through Zillow. That's the concept. If you eliminate all that, trust me, if they become a brokerage, obviously they're already creating a huge buzz, and there's a ton of MLS and brokerages that they don't want to have their listing syndicated on Zillow anymore because of this. You do understand if that happens, they want to become a brokerage, then I want to say 90% of the brokers, they're going to just get out of Zillow.
Probably.
It's a huge risk.
But if they become a brokerage, they'll have direct feeds to the MLS like Redfin.
I get it, but let's talk about this for a second, okay? I've been in the business overall 10 years, okay? In Italy here, you can't replace an agent in a transaction. I'll give you an example. When you do an inspection, a buyer inspection, if you let seller and buyer just deal with it, it will be a mess. They're never going to close the transaction, man, because buyers have some perspective that a seller don't have. Like, for instance, they go in and they're like, well, now I want the outlet cover fixed. At 10 o'clock at night, they're freaking out. They might send a request for repairs to a seller that's 47 pages because there's a stain on the carpet. They want that removed from the seller. Do you think it's going to be easy to close a transaction like that when you don't have a professional in the middle that can explain things?
I don't think so. I mean, I'm not saying that they're going to eliminate agents. I never said that. I don't think that's their plan.
It's not going to happen.
I think if Zillow started a brokerage, they would have their own agents. Or they would start a brokerage so that they could then get referral fees for leads instead of doing the monthly subscription model that they have now. They would start a brokerage so they could say, hey, we're going to provide you with leads. It's not going to cost you anything, but we're going to only bring on agents who close at high conversion rates, and we're just going to spread it. They could do that. There's a lot of different options that they would have.
Sure.
They could still also, like Redfin, for example, they're a brokerage, but they also have partner agents
that
they refer deals out to. So Zillow could be somewhere in the middle, or they could mirror that model. They could use being a brokerage would help Zillow have options. And so I am not sitting here saying they're never going to be a brokerage. Now, I do think they're always going to want to have their relationships that they've built with their agents to do something with them, whether it's to get referral fees or whether it's to charge monthly subscription fees or whatever. I think that's for sure going to be the case. I think, though, what's going to happen is until they actually do become a brokerage, you're always going to have like this looming, this doom and gloom black cloud hanging over the situation. And every time they pull something like this, because they did Coming Soon, just a few months back, and that had everyone up in arms, and still does to this day because a lot of people are abusing it. So at the end of the day, what is Zillow? Zillow is a tool.
Correct.
It's a tool to help find homes to buy and to sell homes. And what's interesting is that it's a tool that was made for consumers to help agents be more effective and efficient. And now it's become a tool for everybody because agents can use Zillow as a tool.
Of course, I leverage it.
To prospect and to sell.
Absolutely.
Both. So it's changing. Whether you know, whether they want it to change or not, it's changing as time goes on. So the question is, what are they going to let it turn into, or what direction are they going to push it? I think the direction that they're going is the direction of a brokerage, but that's just my opinion.
I don't think so. I mean, I've been reading a lot about it, and it will be it's one of those things that will be rolling the dice on something they don't know, something they don't know what's going to happen. If they keep it like this and they try to increase their visibility, so they want to be the number one. They already are, but they want to enlarge it even more. The number one real estate consumer website in the world, okay? They should actually, in my opinion, start looking into elsewhere, like in the world, in Spain, in Italy, which we don't have this kind of tools.
Italy might be tough. They don't really like outsiders.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, this is the thing, man. I believe in something. It's a huge wave. You want to try to fight Zillow, you know? They have billions of dollars on there that they're investing into advertisement. How can you say, oh, it makes me laugh. It's like, I'm not going to syndicate my listing on Zillow anymore. You're doing a disservice to yourself and to your client. That's stupid.
True. That's true.
You can't just fight them. Come on. You can't fight them. What we can do is make sure they understand that the only reason why we subscribe to Zillow and we pay a hefty amount of money every month is because of the advertisement that they provide to consumers. When that's going to change, if it's going to change, like you said, and they become a brokerage, I'm pretty sure that they're going to have some serious problems. I mean, you can't go from a consumer, I would say they're like a matchmaker. They try to put an agent with the consumer. That's what they do.
Consumer safe haven.
Exactly. Now, if you eliminate all that and become a brokerage, that's a totally different concept.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really don't see that happening. I kind of like this instant offer situation is because a lot of sellers are going to have a reality check. You know? They're going to be like, oh, crap, why should I get 20% less of the market value?
That's true. It will sort of reset because a lot of sellers are starting to get a little bit crazy in what they're expecting to get for their homes. Right. So this could help balance that a little bit. Great point, and I'll let you have the last word, Joe.
Well, I will say this to all the fellow colleagues out there and the consumers out there that look on Zillow. Zillow is not an agent. It's a computer-generated Zestimate. It's computer-generated everything. You don't have an expertise that we can have. We actually analyze the market because we're in the market. We're playing the ball in the court. Zillow is not. Okay, so yeah, see what I mean? I'm playing the ball like this. I know what's happening in the market.
And I think that should probably do it. Let's see. I do have a question here from Brandon Mush. So what's up, Brandon? For sale by owner happens all day long and has been happening for such a long time. I see his point, but you either adapt or lose. 100% agree, my friend. All right. Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else, commercial free.